In the following video, we will explain how to create specific price lists that will be used for purchasing. So to do this, we will go to Purchasing in the left list. We will look at Price List and Price List Entry. So we can select Price List Entry. The entry transaction opens that shows different price lists that can be set up. So for the example that we will be doing a product specific price list as well as a supplier product specific price list. So for the first example, we will select product price. So if we create a price list for a specific product, this will be valid for all suppliers within X3. So it doesn't matter which supplier you select, the specific price for this specific product will apply for all suppliers. So you will notice in the left list there will be previously created price lists, and these will all be for different products for different time periods. Once we select one of these price lists from the left list, we'll see that its details will be generated within the details section. So to create a new product specific price list, we will select New from the right list. We'll see that all the fields will be cleared so that we can enter our own details. So we'll start by entering the validity from date, so from when the price list will be valid. We'll click on the calendar and we will select a specific starting date. If we tab, we'll go to the validity to date. When we click on the calendar, we can specify when the end date will be for this specific price list. So now we've entered our from and to dates. The price list code will be automatically generated once we create the price list, so we won't fill in anything in the price list record field. We'll see that the priority has already defaulted to 50, and this means that there are different priorities within X3 that the system will look to, how it will differentiate between what price I would need to look at. So if I've got a price list for a product which is priority 50, and I've got a supplier specific price list with priority 40, it means that it will first look at the lower priority, which is 40, and it will first look for a price in that price list, and if it then cannot look and find a price, it will then go to the higher priority, which is priority 50, and then look for a price. So the following details that we will enter will be in the grid below. So in the product field, we can click on the selection icon and then select a specific product. Once we've selected the product, it will default its description, and it will default a specific currency. This currency can be updated to be a specific currency. So if we hit Shift Tab, we can then update the currency. We'll see that the stocking units will default as per the product setup, and then we can enter a specific product for this price, or specific price for this product. If we tab, we'll see that it will go to the following line, and it will default the same product that we entered on the first line. The reason for this is that as we go through the sheets of all the products, it's basically as an index to carry on and not to default to the very first page of your products. So for instance, if I click on the selection button, we'll see that it's already highlighted the first product that I have selected. So now let's select one a little bit lower down, and now you'll see that it'll default the currency from the first line's currency, and the eaches or purchasing units will also default, and we'll now enter a product. If we tab to the third line, as I said, it defaults your previous line, and if I then click on the selection icon, we'll see that there's the product we last selected at the top, and we'll work our way down each product. Now we can enter, let's say, the final price for our price list, and if this is the only products that will apply for this price list, we can click on Create. we'll see that it has now automatically generated a price list record for us. If we hit escape and F5, it will be updated to the left list. So if at any given time this price list is coming to an end, and you don't want to recapture each individual product that you had on the specific price list, we can physically copy this price list by removing the price list record. And if we tab, we'll see that the create button has now become active again. So all we would need to change now is maybe change the date. So we'll move it on for the following month. And if we need to, we can now update if there was a 10% increase. We can update the prices accordingly. Just change these dates a bit. Once we are happy with our dates and the new prices, we can then click on create. And it's telling us that continue and confirm the duplication. So because we are copying to create a new record, we can select continue. And now it's generated a new price list record for us. If we hit escape and F5, we'll see that the left list has now been updated with that specific price list record. So now we will move over to the supplier specific price list. So what we'll do, to go back to the navigation page, we'll click on close page. We can go back to purchasing, price list and price list entry, and we will select the supplier product price list. Now to create a new supplier specific product price list, we will select new. And we'll enter validity from date again by selecting the calendar. If we tab, we can enter the validity to date. We can see there the priority is 40, which means it's lower than the product specific price list, which means that the system will automatically come and first look at the supplier product price list before it looks at the product price list to find a price. So now we can specify a specific supplier by clicking on the selection icon, and we will select our supplier. We will now select a product. You see the currency has now defaulted. The purchasing units has defaulted. And now we've got two additional fields that we can enter as well, which is called the minimum quantity and maximum quantity. So if you've got a fixed agreement that you get special prices on the amount of products that you purchase from a supplier, we can specify these quantities. So for instance, if we buy 0 units to 10 units, we can enter a lead time if applicable. So from purchasing one unit to 10 units, we get this product at 100. If discounts apply, we can enter specific discount. So now you'll see that it will default with the exact same supplier and product record. So if we tab through the field, we'll see that now the minimum quantity is 11 from the last quantity that we entered on the previous line, which the maximum quantity was 10. So now if I purchase 11 units to 20 units, I get this price at 95. If we tab down the line, you'll see it's defaulted the same supplier and product again. Now we're saying from buying from 21 till any amount or any quantity higher than 21, we get this at 80. Now the one thing to note on entering the last minimum and maximum quantity of your supplier specific price list is you need to always, the last amount that will be your maximum quantity needs to be defaulted to the 99999 value, because if you enter an empty field, it will then never find a price for anything higher than the value of 21 when purchasing this product. So when we are happy with this, we can click on create in the right list. We'll see now that it has generated a supplier specific price list record. If we hit escape and F5, we'll see that it's now displayed in the left list. So the same will apply for this supply specific price list to the product specific price list, on how you can copy your price list record by removing the record number, hitting tab. You'll see that the create button has now become available. So if you need to change your minimum quantity and maximum quantity agreements, you can do accordingly, as well as adjust your price accordingly. Once you are done, you can click on create. Let's go back to the navigation page. We can click on close page.